Now, this here was one thing that annoyed me about the Shadow Palace level in the Thousand Year Door. It was just fight after fight after fight, a ridiculously long slog through tons of crap that the game just dumps and dumps on your head and expected you to deal with it. Waves of enemies, some puzzles, a couple bosses, ending in a 3-person final boss at the end, meaning you had to be prepared and sometimes walk all the way back through the evil door to prepare a second time and go back to where you started, making a long-ass slog all the worthwhile. Neo Bowser Castle is pretty much that. There's enemies everywhere, there's puzzles and bosses, because this is what developers think will build up anticipation for a final boss fight that we have not seen because the final boss is too busy sitting on his throne and drinking orange juice made out of the blood of his most disliked fruits. The PAPERCRAFT boss rush wasn't that bad. It just takes a hell of a long time and makes me wonder why any of it's here, because our new PAPERCRAFT, the Fire Mario, can easily rip them to shreds with his fireballs. It takes every boss fight apart. This is almost like going back to the early areas of a Castlevania game. Hell, we can take the Mega Crinkle Goomba apart now in under a damned minute. So yeah, the basic idea is just to flame all the enemies and all the bosses until the game tells you to stop. Goomba, use fire. Bowser Jr., use fire on the bombs and torch his ass. King Boo, flame it until it stops. Kamek, flame their force field and then jump on their face. Or flame them, who the fuck cares? But then we get to the real reason we're here. PAPERCRAFT Bowser, the big dog himself, and like the other PAPERCRAFT fights, even Bowser is easy to defeat. It probably kills Bowser inside since his PAPERCRAFT is loaded up with tons of weapons and is also the biggest PAPERCRAFT in the entire game. Although the reason why Bowser needed a death tag made out of cardboard is still out for debate. PAPERCRAFT Bowser will use Fire Breath and spin the fireballs around the arena, making them sort of hard to dodge, and then will charge backwards at Fire Mario, which can be beaten by walking in the other direction. The other thing that kills the difficulty of this boss fight is that in the boss arena, there are healing items that will get you back up to max health, and there's like 2 of them in the arena, not that you'd actually need them. The only thing that'll give you a real issue is that only Bowser's front is vulnerable to attack from the fireballs, and then he can be smashed in the head by Fire Mario's jump when he's stunned. Repeat this until the king gives up out of embarrassment. They'll pull out another attack at half health where they spin around the room ridiculously, but you can combat that just by getting out of the way, and then dodging their Leap of Faith attack by sprinting in any other direction. This really is a case of a boss being all bark and no bite. All the great design that would come with a fight with a super weapon of ultimate destruction, but none of the actual punch to follow up that threat, and ultimately this boss rush is a really slow and tedious waste of time, which is usually what happens with boss rushes. These sections and repeats of boss fights never build up the final encounter and basically act as ridiculous padding in front of the thing we actually want to do. We don't need 5 different bosses in a row in the final level before the final boss. Just get us to the final boss and spend the extra effort on building up that one fight. That's how Paper Mario made it happen. Okay, it had one extra boss fight, but that was really just for a joke and not meant to do anything other than tying up loose ends. This PAPERCRAFT boss rush isn't worth the damn paper it was printed on.